now?
We're in downtown Greenville.
Downtown Greenville. A big apartment block up there. It's quite a fancy area along here, isn't it?
It's very nice.
Very nice part of town. We're just walking down to the park, which we think is down this way.
Yeah.
How's your swing?
Pretty exciting.
In the Greenville Park,
Yeah.
right next to the river.
Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have.
So what's the facts about this bridge?
It's the only curved suspension bridge in America.
Only curved suspension bridge.
Got an interesting bounce to it.
Oh yes. What an awesome view. That is your future truck.
Yeah. At least it's black.
Yeah, it's black's quite a good,
Cool Mustang
decent
down
colour.
there.
Oh, look at that. Now that's how cars have gone from that looking like that
Yeah.
to looking like that. How did we get here? How did this happen?
What would you rather have?
Oh, exactly. I don't know. Car design, eh? Just in Harris Teeter supermarket in Greenville, and we found the New Zealand / South Africa section. There we are. So here's some of the New Zealand wines that are available here and the prices.
All the Savions are New Zealand.
All the Savions New Zealand, yeah.
They're all Marlborough.
Here's the Matua here. It costs you $12.99. There we go. Always some oyster bait on there for $13.99.
Wow.
There we go.
$19.99 if you don't have a discount card though.
They're quite
Pretty
expensive.
expensive.
Very expensive wine. I guess it's come for a long way, you know.
Yeah.
So there you go. New Zealand wine in the US supermarket.
Getting off to do some shopping this morning.
We are going to Hawk's 3rd Gen Parts, big supplier of Firebird and Camaro parts. A lot of stuff in this car has come from Hawk's over the years, so take the opportunity from the area to go visit them. See them coming up, I think, left hand side up here.
Yes, Kit's got a shopping list
He sure does.
and he's emptied out the back, so he's ready to shop.
This is some here, I think.
Yes, indeed, this is them here. Pick apart.
Here we are, look at
Get
that.
some from out there.
Look at those 3rd Gens over there.
Look at all those quarter panels and bumpers.
Oh man.
There we go. Hawks Motorsports.
Let's go.
All generations.
Let's go on back in, shall we? Where should we back into? Let's back to this one up here.
Okay, so I don't have a Firebird cut already. But basically how we looked at this one sitting on the pallet over here is
Yep.
typically how we cut them.
Okay, so you cut the whole thing, right?
Correct. Now, I've got plenty of quarters because even like even a 91, 92
Yeah, it's the same.
is the same.
Yeah,
As long as it wasn't a Trans Am and didn't have the ground effect package.
yeah,
Because the Trans Ams have the holes in the quarter panels for
yeah.
the ground effects to sit
Yeah.
on. But like for instance,
like this fella over here has got the ground effects. This goes right the way around, doesn't it?
correct. Yeah, that's an 82
this-
to 84 car.
It's got the ground effects that come right around from the bumper all the way
Correct.
around. Yeah,
Correct. Same tail light though.
yeah,
Same style tail light. But the quarter panel is different. But I've got quite a few Firebirds and stuff like that we can. We'll go up here and just check real quick to make sure we don't have one off. Now, when are you guys planning on leaving?
we're here for a few days. We're planning to get it shipped back to California because we're going to ship the car back from California. We don't really have room to
Okay.
cart it around, but if we can still just really understanding what you've got, really, how you can help us, hopefully. Gosh, it goes on. There's more of them.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh my gosh. This is 3rd Gen heaven, isn't it? There's not too many 3rd Gens on the road these days over here, is there? They're sort of disappearing quickly.
Yeah, unless they're coming from this shop. These are, we have some Firebirds over here, not many, but this is our Firebird section.
Wow. Just goes on and on and on.
Right.
So very exciting this morning, heading off to a place called Troutsville. That's what it's called. It's just a couple of hours north of us from our Airbnb at Greenville here. Got hold of through Facebook, got hold of a guy who used to work for General Motors and was very au fait with the crossfire injection system which KITT has. So it's a bit of it's not a well-known system, especially in New Zealand. Practically no one knows about them. Any city mechanic doesn't know anything about them. They're too old and too specialised. They weren't that common. So luckily this nice gentleman has offered to help me balance the throttle bodies. I don't think they've ever been balanced. There's two throttle bodies on top of the engine and they need to be balanced and synchronised. And you have special tools and equipment and knowledge to do it. I have a bit of knowledge, I don't have the tools and equipment. So we are going to head up there and catch up with him. So Jay's his name, he's a nice fella, he's got his own YouTube channel and everything, so he'll no doubt make a video of this as well. So I look forward to meeting him and getting KITT a bit of, I guess, tuning. So very exciting. It's heading off very shortly.
Now the driver's side is always the harder one because you have the brake booster. I'm sorry, there's vacuum block coming out of the intake for the brake booster.
What's your channel again, Jay?
It's 84C4 Corvette guy.
Oh, awesome. We'll look you up.
On YouTube.
Cool, thank you. Where are we heading to today? I can't hear you.
We're on the Swamp Rabbit Trail.
The Swamp Rabbit Trail.
Yeah, we're expecting to see some swamp rabbits.
And you're able to ride a bicycle. It's pretty exciting.
It is.
Don't fall off it.
Try not to.
So we're going this way, and then around the corner. This is an old railroad line, right?
It is.
And we don't know much about the railroad lines. We can't tell you much about it because we don't know much about it. But we're
No,
going to head
that's
this
right.
way. Head this way and go for a ride and see what we can find, eh?
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Really?
Well, just in case you fall off, I won't pick you up.
Oh, good. Do you think I know where I'm going?
No. I'll just follow you anyway.
All right.
Okay, bye. Continue on through these woods so we can find. So this was the Greenville and Northern Railroad. It was a short line that left from Greenville. It was built quite early on in railroad's history. Great plans to be something more than what it was, but it ended up being abandoned in the early 2000s after freight kind of dried up. Stopped, from what I gather, it's kind of stopped being used a lot in the 90s and then completely in the 2000s. So it was handed over and made into a rail trail. The tracks were lifted, and so there you go, bit of history.
Did you read about how it got its name, the Swamp Rabbit?
No, tell us about why it got its name, the Swamp Rabbit.
Well, the track quality was such that it used to hop down the rails.
Oh, right. So it was not a very well maintained track.
No, so they called it the Swamp Rabbit Train, which then got transferred onto the trail.
There we go.
It's quite smooth now, though. This bit is. The beginning was a bit bumpy.
It's got nice sealed formation. It's probably nicer than it ever was, even when it was being used as a railroad. It's probably smoother now than ever. So there you go. There's the history of the trail we're riding on. So where McDonald's we're heading to? We're heading today, Charlotte,
In Charlotte.
to the Aviation Museum.
Yes.
What's it called? The Sullenberger
Aviation
Museum,
Museum.
named after Sullenberger, who landed his plane in the Hudson River after bird strikes. So apparently the plane's on display there, so that's when I go and have a look.
Will there be, like,
Sullenberger's,
bits of bird in it?
hopefully.
That'd be authentic. Oh, what a weird.
Coming into Charlotte, North Carolina.
Lots of apartments.
There's lots of people moving to Charlotte.
These
Place to
ones
be.
are a little bit older, but just past some that are being built now.
Here's the downtown. That's where we're going at.
Let's down this lane.
Okay. outside the Aviation Museum, we have this very interesting aircraft here. It's Hercules, eh? And it's got Operation Eagle Claw, 24th April 1980. So what was Operation Eagle Claw, Nat?
They were trying to get the American hostages out of the Iranian embassy, the American embassy in Iran in 1979.
And they flew this fellow over there to try and do it, but it was unsuccessful after a few mishaps, mechanical issues.
Sounds like a complete classic F-up by the Air Force and various others.
Yeah, but anyway, they abandoned the mission and they
did.
released the hostages anyway after
Quite a while.
1981, January 81. So they were hostages. They were hostages for quite some time
Yes.
before they released them. But this is the aircraft
Yes.
now on display at the museum here.
Flew into the desert in Iran and tried a few things and
Oh, it was just
made it back though.
wasn't the best of missions.
No.
Interesting all the same.
Yes, it's quite big.
It's massive. It's huge. It's inside the main hall of the museum. It's all fresh and brand new. It smells brand new too, doesn't it?
It does.
Paint's hardly dried.
So this is quite cool. 1965, they had a drone anti-submarine helicopter. That there is the control panel for it. And this is it here. It's quite big. Pretty impressive to have unmanned drones in 1965 though. I wonder if it still flies. It'd be good fun.
Everything felt smooth, so I felt comfortable enough to reach under my seat, get my bag out, pull out my book, and it was when I was pulling out my book and my head was down. Actually shook. There's no more engine noise. There's silence, and I realized immediately that we were in trouble.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280, you can land runway 1 at Peterborough. We can't do it. Okay, which runway would you like at Peterborough? We're going to be Hudson. I'm sorry, say again, Cactus?
But all of a sudden, the captain came on, and he said, "This is the captain, brace for impact." The flight.
Going down.
Somebody behind yelled, "Be ready to open those doors." When they screamed at somebody up by the door, said, "We got it."
In the water.
Really crazy scrape sound. For a couple of seconds, nobody did anything. The captain came out and he said, "Evacuate."
I felt water around my feet immediately, and it was cold.
We just followed each other out, and I'm out on the wing I go.
You just jumped into the water like you jump into a swimming pool, right?
And this is where they managed to go not very far.
So I took it from LaGuardia.
Hit some birds.
Came through and landed.
They're
Crash
in the air
landed.
for 5 minutes or
5
something.
minutes, yeah,
wasn't
that wasn't very long. Some more items recovered from the plane, some unopened drinks there. And that's what caused it. Canadian geese. This is the engine the Canadian geese flew into. They flew into there.
Well, we know where his buddies went.
Do you find any pieces of geese still
No,
in the engine?
disappointed.
Oh.
Didn't seem to be any there.
Here's the aircraft itself. It's been preserved, isn't it good? Bit of damage down there, Nat.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of damage to the other end. We'll go and have a look at the other end as well.
That's cool. It's neat it's been saved.
I guess they can't fly it again.
Is it an Airbus? Was it an Airbus plane? I think it might be.
A320, I think it
It was
is.
an Airbus, yeah. Good engineering Airbus.
A little bit of damage to this side, as you'd expect, I guess, from landing on water. Just a bit harder than just landing on the runway. Not terrible though. Bit of damage to the rear end as well. I guess that landing didn't do it any good. It's a bit hard to see, but the underneath of it's all ripped open. You can see right into the back of it there. up under there. There's the rest of the tail over there.
This is a CH-53 helicopter. It's one of the largest in the world, built in 1966. It's a huge helicopter. It's used a lot in Vietnam. It's absolutely massive, huge craft. Very, very impressive technology. The size of the rear rotor on it, it's absolutely massive. That is just huge. There's some people full scale. It's just absolutely massive. We're in the Greenville History Museum. What have you found? You got some friends?
Yes.
Got some pics. This is the museum. Very cool, isn't it?
It is. Looks fun.
It does. Let's go walk around, shall we, so we can find.
Okay.
We're in the Star Wars room.
Yeah, this is South Carolina history.
Yep. Props from the original Star Wars. Well, not the original, but the more recent Star Wars. This is from The Force Awakens. This is really cool. This is the Kenner. Millennium Falcon by Kenner in 1979. There's more Kenner toys.
Oh, there's some really cool toys.
That's some awesome toys.
I'm impressed.
Kenner made some really neat stuff. There's more Kenner toys over here.
These would have been way too expensive for us.
This would have been hugely expensive. That's just awesome. They're such good toys. Some more original props and costumes from The Force Awakens in 2015. Lightsaber over there. And even more Kenner toys. Look at them all. They're so good. They're so well detailed, considering that they were, toys at the time.
These are all 80s era.
All original 80s era stuff. I had quite a few of those back in the day. All since lost now, but I just love Kenner. This is just absolute Kenner. Kenner.